Hey, y'all, come look at this.
As he turns 35, Tom Brady's on the downside of his career. And if you ask me if he'll ever get to another Super Bowl, I have one answer. No way, no how.
What you think? He's the GOAT. There's no question about that.
It's over there.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people say Jim Brown, a lot of people say this. Is this like solidified?
6 championships is unprecedented, you know?
Yeah. Some people are saying it was the most boring Super Bowl of all time.
He got another ring. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
And here's the beautiful thing about what I love about Tom Brady and the New England Patriots is you take 16 years of body of work like Tom Brady has produced, but you also have to look at the 8 Super Bowls that he has participated in.
Incredible.
Which is also absolutely incredible. And one would think naturally not to bet against a Tom Brady kind of guy. And when you say that, you have to think about the best quarterback to have ever played the game is Tom Brady, in my opinion. Without a doubt. But when I look at Brady and the Patriots and Belichick and Mr. Kraft, they have proven time and time again, Rich, this is what an excellent organization is supposed to look like. From a consistency standpoint and a systematic standpoint, they have produced 8 Super Bowl appearances in 16 years. That's the ability to have a short-term memory but enjoy the moment, but yet get refocused and put all your energy towards the big prize, when that is creating something that has never been created before and do things that others have never done before.
Tom is a great quarterback, probably the greatest quarterback. I'm not disputing that at all. You know, he did what you expect Tom Brady to do. If you give Tom Brady 2 minutes to go down the field to win the game, I would say it's about a 99.9% chance that that's going to happen. And that's what happened yesterday. Yeah. I mean, even with the 2 interceptions, you know, some of it wasn't his fault. I think one of them wasn't his fault. We were kind of trying to watch the game on the plane coming back after our win. Was I impressed? I was very impressed.
One of the interesting things about the Super Bowl is you played in one early in your career and thought to yourself, I'm going to be back, and never got back. And here's Tom Brady for his 9th time. I mean, it's somewhat ridiculous.
It's amazing.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
But yeah, it is amazing for a player, just one player, and placed at that position, because it's tough to get back. And I only went one time, and pretty amazing stuff what they're doing up there in New England.
And let me start with your old teammate Tom Brady, who's been around almost as long as you have been around. He said yesterday there's a 0% chance this will be his last game. What's your perspective on the way he's been able to do it this long?
Well, he's amazing, and why wouldn't he keep going? I mean, he's still at the top of the league. He's still at the top of his game. He's producing huge wins and record-breaking seasons every year. So if he's feeling good and still loving it, why wouldn't he keep going? I mean, I could see him playing another 5 years.
I saw the final, yeah. It was the first time I see, and it was nice. It was looking good, and one thing is for sure, if I would play Super Bowl, I would win also. As long as I play with Tom Brady, so that's easy.
Like, we're not supposed to be on TV talking about subjects and be like, I don't know. Well, in this one, as far as Tom Brady and what he's doing, it's because
it's unprecedented.
There's
nothing in history you can pull to and say he's doing what this guy did, because he is blazing new ground every game he plays as far as at that level at this age.
Right, but one thing that I'm not going to do is I'm not going to start with Tom Brady and his commitment to the game as far as taking care of his body. I know players that have played with Tom Brady, and they say it's just like having a coach on the field as far as the meetings. Tom Brady is running the meeting, installing parts of the offense, explaining the small little details of technique that typically even the quarterbacks don't get into. How many steps you're going to take, what's your head position, all these things. So his overall love for the game, that's the only way you can play a long time, especially unless you're a kicker, where you're not necessarily kicking or involved in all the mundane things with the team. When you are a quarterback, man, you are the central focus of an organization on and off the field. So his ability to still have fun playing the game. We heard from Andrew Luck yesterday. Andrew Luck said, no, I didn't think I wasn't going to play football again, but I didn't know if I was going to have fun playing football. So when you've accomplished as much as Tom Brady has and still get the joy to get up and to go to work and on a Wednesday be excited, training camp number 19, 20, to be excited, those things are impossible to do. But that combination and being in an environment where Bill Belichick will not let you rest. In that marriage, what other people might look at as chaotic is harmony and successful. And I believe that Tom's love of football has grown being around Bill and Bill's pursuit of perfection on a daily basis. And I think that they have really helped push and pull each other to where they are.
What's Tom Brady like as a teammate?
He's a great teammate. He's, one of the hardest workers I ever played with. Smart. He comes to work every day. He don't like losing reps, whether it's one-on-ones, 7-on-7. He hates losing. And, he's a great teammate to compete against every day and push his players.
When you signed with the team, this is going to sound like an odd question, but there's a reason for it. How did he introduce himself to you?
He said it was off-season workouts, and he was like, happy to have you on this side now instead of playing against you.
In terms of which guy I would obviously take Tom Brady, just because of my experience with him and knowing who he is. I've never dealt with Aaron personally, but I can tell you the force multiplier effect, not only on the field but off the field, that Tom brings, to me, distinguishes him from everybody else.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, his willingness to be coached as he became more and more of a household name, as he became more and more successful, as he became wealthy, as all the things that hit you in the NFL hit him, he was still coachable. He was a consistent guy. He took less money than other guys in his position in order to help the team push resources other places.
Carson, how impressive is it watching Tom Brady dominate over the years, no matter who he's throwing to, no matter what talent or the lack thereof that he's got around him?
Yeah, and what never gets talked about him is the atmosphere and the environment he has to throw the football in. I mean, when you look at quarterbacks that, like myself, that played in Arizona in a dome on grass, half my games, but then you look at him having to go to Buffalo, him having to go to New York and play in the Meadowlands all those years, and then playing there in Foxborough, and the numbers he's put up, wet, cold, windy, snow, you name it, he's done it year after year in that environment.
You cannot, you cannot deny that he's one of the greatest, and he's putting up outstanding numbers. This would be ring number 6 for him, and he makes everybody better around him.
11 minutes to go, down 10, no Gronk. Did you think the Pats were done?
No.
Why?
I didn't think they were done because we've seen this story before, Chris. That's why.
Not against a defense like this.
It doesn't. Well, yes, we have. Seattle. Did you forget about Seattle in the Super Bowl?
Okay,
everybody was talking about how great Seattle's defense is. What did Brady do? He did the same thing. But I'm not surprised because Brady had him right where he wanted them.
Were you surprised that the Patriots came back against this defense now because no Gronk?
The Patriots never feel as though they're out of the game.
But did you?
No. Because Brady, I always tell my friends, never pick against Brady. Ask anybody who knows me, don't pick against Brady, you're never out of it.
But that Tom Brady. Tom Brady, man. Tom Brady is a game changer on the field, in the locker room, in life. The common denominator here to me is Tom Brady. Without Tom Brady, this does not work. Without Tom Brady, we're not here. Without Tom Brady, that wonderful picture is not nestled behind you. Because that Tom Brady, see, when you have a guy that you could think back, even in our playing day, say, well, the only one that can really rival him, that man from the 49ers, Joe Montana, Dan Marino, guys like that. That's only Peyton Manning. I got to give Peyton some credit, but that Tom Brady is in a class by himself.
Let's talk about Tom Brady, man, and playing against Tom Brady. I never had the pleasure of playing against Tom Brady, but you guys all have. So let's talk about that a little bit, Joe.
Man, I think Tom Brady, man, he's one of the, like everybody says, he's one of the GOATs. You know, he's up there. When we played against him, he just takes whatever the defense gives him. I love the way if you sit back in zone, he'll take the 5-yard check down, he'll dump it down 100 yards all the way down the field. Some quarterbacks, they can't slow grind it. They can't slow grind it. They always got to get the big play.
Like you said, he's a true leader. I remember one time we had scrimmaged him in camp, and they were doing a 2-minute drill against our defense, and it was like the troops was behind him. He was a general leading them. You know, first down after another one, yelling the plays out, directing the line. It just showed the true warrior he is. Even when we played him in a game, him and the offense coordinator going at it, you know, trying to figure it out. Not really arguing, but just trying to get the right plays. They were upset. It was a tough game. And he's a competitor. And he shows it week in and week out and every year. He's 40 years old, and we're talking about he potentially might get another Super Bowl.
Crazy. To me, he's like playing against Bobby Fischer in chess, you know, trying to get Kobe Bryant to pass the ball. It's just hard to beat him, you know what I'm saying? He is Captain America. He does a great job of being cerebral in the pocket, making sure that he can avoid the rush, finding the check downs, the deep passes. Whatever you do good, they try to take it away from you, and that's what makes Tom Brady so great.
I love Tom. Tom's one of my good friends, and example on Tom, we're getting ready to play the AFC Championship against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they ain't stand a chance because of this night. The night, we were having night meetings because we played at night, and all the coaches leave and Tom stands up in front of the team. And in that moment, he said a compliment for every single guy on the team that meant something from that guy actually as a person and a player, from scout team to Gronk. He knew every single player, what they had been doing, how they're developing, what they're getting better at. And I'm in there I've never seen anything like this. It was no great rah-rah any given Sunday speech, Al Pacino, anything like that. It was
But it meant something to everyone.
Every single player was different.
The depth for which he knew the team, it was like Belichick, who happened to be your quarterback.
Yes, and then he's just a fun guy to be around. He's not a guy where he's sponsored by Tom Ford and Aston Martin. Most guys like that, you feel like you can't hang out with, right? Yeah. But Tom is a great guy. He's the type of guy you want to have a beer. He might not drink beer, but if you want to I don't drink beer either, but he's a guy you want to have a cup of coffee. He probably drinks avocado coffee.
Tom Brady, you've been with him. What has he meant to your ownership tenure?
I think of him, that skinny young man coming down the steps of the old stadium with the pizza box and introducing himself to me and telling me he's the greatest decision this organization has ever made. And of course, he was 4th on the depth chart. But I think he sure was right. Definitely the greatest player of all time, not just quarterback, in my opinion, because he's such a leader in the locker room. People are the most important thing. We hire people on the basis of integrity, character, and loyalty. It's all about having the right people. We're going to our 14th championship game. Before we bought the team, they went to 1 in 34 years. They're 25% of the league hasn't gone to 1 in the last 25 years. So I'm going, how lucky are we?
Is Tom Brady the greatest football player ever?
Probably. I'm talking about a wow moment that, in a good way, that you didn't see. We all
made it, or
I
whatever.
made it. That's because we're players, right?
I think week 3, playing against Tom Brady, even though we didn't win, I went toe-to-toe with him on the road. The guy that I've been watching since I was a little kid.
Okay.
Exactly. And it's like,
see?
Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Right.
And like that last drive he went, I think it was a 2-minute drive at the end to win the game.
You're right.
I'm sitting
He knows.
He can smell the grass right now.
I'm sitting there with Tom Savage, and I'm like, yo, have you ever been in a situation where you seen it on TV and you never thought it was going to happen to you, but you feel like it's about to happen to you? And Tom's like, this is about to happen. You just feel it. Feel it. And then, touchdown. I'm like, yo, this cannot be happening.
That is not what you said, yo.
Well, I didn't say that,
He wasn't saying yo.
I said yo.
Yeah,
I was mad. I was pissed off. But at the same time, I'm like, man, I went toe-to-toe with one of the best ever.
Bill, I know that you are team-oriented when you talk about players, but I also know that you're a student of history of the game. To have a quarterback throw 500 touchdown passes, you just talk about that accomplishment for Tom.
Yeah, I mean, it's tremendous. It's a lot of touchdown passes to a lot of different guys too. So, yeah, Tom's no quarterback I'd rather have than Tom Brady. So he does a great job, week in and week out, year in and year out, all the situations. I mean, he does a great job.